Hello everyone, welcome to Apna Commerce Club. Here today I have brought another revision video of economics. Today we'll be revising chapter 4 of economics. Here we'll be talking about price determination and different markets, what are the different types of markets we have, what are their features, characteristics, and of course, their important definitions also. So, and also before starting, we know the drill, right? Like, share, and subscribe. Please guys, come on. Okay, so let's start. Meaning of market. What is market? A market is a collection of buyers and sellers with a potential to trade. The actual or potential interaction of the buyers and sellers determine the price of the product. So here they are saying that market is nothing but it is a collection. It is a collection of buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers together form a market. And what are the main elements of the market? Buyers and sellers. Of course, this is in the definition. Buyers and sellers is very important. And a product and service. A product and service is very important. Otherwise, like, what will you market about? What will you trade about? And bargaining for a price is like compulsory. And knowledge about market conditions and one price for a product or service at a given time. Like, for example, if I have a product and which I'm selling both to I'm selling one product to different customers. I have to charge the same price to both the customers. You cannot charge one for one customer higher price and one customer low price. No, there should be one single price for everyone. Okay. So these are the elements of markets. Then we have classification of markets. The classification markets on the basis of geographical area, time, nature of transaction, regulation, volume of business, and type of competition. And on the basis of geographical area, we all know local markets, we have regional markets. Local markets, nothing but the vegetable markets which we see in our locality. And regional markets are nothing but they function only in few cities or few areas. Like they are within the region. They are not those markets are not available outside those particular regions. And we have national market. National market is nothing but the market which have only within the country. Like for example, they have here Hindi books. They have national market in India, but outside India, one may not have market for Hindi books. And international market is nothing but exchange of goods and services between two different countries. That is the international market. And we have on the basis of time, how on the basis of time markets are classified. We have very short period. Very short period is nothing but a period of time where the supply is fixed and cannot be increased or decreased at all. Like it can be 1 month, 2 months, like it's for very short period of time. Then we have short period. This is bit longer than very short period. Here, see, slightly longer than very short period. This can be up to 6 months or 1 year. Then we have long period market. Long period market, nothing but factors becomes variable and the supply of commodities may be changed by altering the scale of production. They are saying that supply of the commodities can be changed because it is long period. Long period you can say, for example, more than 1 year, like 2 years, 5 years, you can say that. In that, the supply can be changed. That supply can be changed. That is in a long period. And you have very long period or secular period. This is nothing but more than 10 years, 15 years. See, there is one where the secular movements are recorded in certain factors over a period of time. The period is very long. Next, coming up is on the basis of nature of transaction. On the basis of nature of transaction, we have spot market and forward market. Spot market, what is that? Goods are exchanged for money payable either immediately or within a short period of span. Like spot, it is within the name itself. Like the goods or services are exchanged on the spot. Tabi ka tabi. And we have future or forward market, that is nothing but transactions involve contracts with a promise to pay and deliver goods at some future date. On the basis of regulation, we have regulated markets, unregulated markets. Regulated markets are nothing but markets which have few policies, few what you call guidelines to be followed that are regulated. Unregulated markets, like I can say, the vegetable market we have in our locality, these are unregulated because they don't have any specific rules or anything to follow. There is no what we call association or authorities who always what we call monitor them. And next we have on the basis of business. On the basis of business, you have wholesale market, retail market. Wholesale is nothing but where the goods are sold in larger bulk quantities. Retail market is commodities are sold in small quantities, like we have our kirana shops. Okay. Now we have type of market structure. We have different types of markets. We have perfect competition, which says that it is characterized by many sellers selling identical products to many buyers. So you're selling identical products to many buyers here. That is your, and you have many sellers, many buyers. That is your perfect competition. And you have monopolistic competition. What is that? Monopolistic is nothing but it differs only one respect, namely, and there may be many sellers offering differentiated product to many buyers. Then you have monopoly. It is a situation where there is a single seller producing for many buyers. Like only that one particular person has a control over the whole market. And next you have oligopoly. What is that? There are few sellers selling competing products to many buyers. Okay. And next we have here are the few small definitions about total revenue, average revenue, marginal revenue. Of course, you people will be knowing about this already, and it's not like I'm still explaining this. These are like very small examples. Total revenue, what is that? Total revenue or total expenditure incurred by the purchasers of a firm product refers to the amount of money which a firm realizes by selling certain units of a commodity. If, for example, if I'm selling 100, if I'm selling 100 commodities at rupees 10, that means I'm selling for 1000 rupees, right? So what is the revenue I get by selling those 100 commodities? 1000 rupees is the my total revenue which I get. Okay. And what is the small formula? Total revenue is equal to price into quantity. Next, we have average revenue. What is average revenue? Average revenue is the revenue earned per unit of output. Per unit of output. See, this is the formula. Like total revenue divided by quantity. That is our total average revenue. Then we have marginal revenue. See, marginal revenue is nothing but additional revenue. Marginal revenue is nothing but additional revenue. So marginal revenue is the change in total revenue resulting from the sale of additional unit of the commodity. How much additional commodity you are selling, by that how much additional revenue, that is marginal revenue, you will earn. So this is marginal revenue is equal to delta of total revenue divided by total quantity, delta. Next, we have determination of the prices. How you determine the price. Coming up is determination of equilibrium price. See, what is equilibrium price again? Is nothing but market clearing price is the price at which the quantity demanded of a commodity equals quantity supplied of the commodity. That is, at this price, there is no unsold stock or unsupplied demand. So, first of all, what is equilibrium? Equilibrium is nothing but you are attaining a point where your demand and supply both are same. Your demand and supply both are same. That is equilibrium. And now, what is equilibrium price? Equilibrium price is quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. At that price only the quantity is being demanded, and seller are also willing to supply at that price only. So both buyers and sellers both are demanding at the same price. So that is your equilibrium price. Okay, here we have changes in demand and supply. What happens, like how does a change in demand and supply, what is it called as? So the facts of the real world, however, are such that determinants of demand other than price of the commodity, unless under consideration, like income, taste, preferences, population, technology, prices of factors of production, etc., always change, causing shift in demand and supply. The shift affects equilibrium price and quantity. See, whenever we have different kinds of determinants of demand, right? Like we have income, see they have said income, taste and preferences, we have population, technology, prices of factors of production. All these things never be the same. They always fluctuate. They always fluctuate depending upon the consumer, depending upon the market, depending upon production, depending upon the availability of the products, everything. So what happens? What happens to this, like with respect to the demand? So demand and supply also change when there is a fluctuation in all the determinants of the demand. See, when an increase in demand, what happens? It shifts to the right. See, this is our graph, for example. An increase in demand, it shifts towards the right. A decrease in demand, it shifts towards the left. And again, in increase in the supply, again same. It shifts to the right. See, whenever they're shifting to the right, always think that they are what you call increasing. There is an increase in demand, there is an increase in supply. Again, a decrease or a shift to the left in supply, like it's decreasing here. Then we have simultaneous changes in demand and supply. What happens when the demand and supply are changing together at the same time? There are two possible outcomes when the supply and demand curves shift in the same direction. First, when the both demand and supply increase, equilibrium quantity increases, but the change in equilibrium is uncertain. See, when demand and supply both are changing or like both are increasing together, equilibrium quantity will also increase, but the change in equilibrium price is very uncertain. It might increase, may not increase, it depends. And when both the demand and supply decrease, equilibrium quantity decreases, but the change in equilibrium price is uncertain. Same. Here, changes in demand and supply. This what do you call this happens when the demand increases and supply decreases. Here they are saying when the demand increases. So there is what do you call there is a change in both, but the change is very different. So the here demand is increasing and supply is decreasing. What happens then? Then the equilibrium price rises, but nothing certain can be said about the change in the equilibrium quantity. See, here what happens in the simultaneous change, both are changing together. Here also both are changing, but both are changing in different directions, the opposite direction. So when the demand increases, see when the demand increases and the supply decreases, the equilibrium prices rises. Equilibrium prices rises, but nothing certain can be said about equilibrium quantity. See, it was in the previous, it was about the change of increase in quantity. Here, it is a change in increase in the equilibrium price. Same, when the demand decreases, see, when the demand is decreasing and the supply increases and the supply increases, the equilibrium price falls. The equilibrium price falls. But nothing certain can be said about change in equilibrium quantity. Same. Okay. Now we are having this last unit. It talks about price output determination under different market forms. First, we'll see about perfect competition. Okay. A perfect competitive market has following characteristics. Let's see what are the characteristics it has. See, there are a large number of buyers and sellers who compete among themselves. What are the characteristics of perfect competition? Large number of buyers and sellers who compete among each other. The products supplied by all the firms are identical or are homogeneous in all respects, so they can be perfect substitutes. I can give a good example for this. For example, you can talk about shampoo. We have different brands. Like, yes, of course, everything like all different kinds of brands, all are shampoos itself, like all are identical. But only there is small, what you call difference in each other, like the flavors or what the ingredients which they are used might differ. But all are shampoos. At the end, everything is like all those bottles which they sell are shampoos. So you can call that as a perfect competition market. See, the products supplied by all the firms are identical or are homogeneous in all respects. So they are perfect substitutes. Then every firm is free to enter the market or go out of it. And see here. If the above three conditions alone are fulfilled, such a market is called pure competition. Then the essential feature of pure competition is the absence of element of monopoly. There is no monopoly because there are many different kinds of buyers and sellers in the market. And consequently, business combination of monopolistic nature is also not possible. In addition to the above mentioned features of pure competition, a few more additions are attached to perfect competition. What are those three extra, what do you call it, features? First, there is a perfect knowledge of the market conditions on the part of the buyers and sellers. Both the buyer and seller has the perfect knowledge of the market. They know how the market functions. They know what is the product demanded in the market, what is the price of that product. And the perfectly competitive markets have very low transaction cost, very low transaction cost. And you have under perfect competition, all firms individually are price takers because we are the sellers, we are the buyers, we decide, the customers decide the price. Under perfect competition, firms are price takers. Okay, and see here equilibrium of the industry. How do you achieve that equilibrium in the industry? When the total output of industry, total output, we are talking about total output of industry is equal to total demand. Then the industry is said to be equilibrium and the price prevailing at the time will be our equilibrium price. So total output is equal to your total demand, nothing but equilibrium in the industry. Same equilibrium in the firm. How do you achieve that? The firm is said to be equilibrium when it maximizes its profits. Output which gives maximum profit to the firm is called equilibrium output. Then we have perfect competition conditions for equilibrium of a firm. How do you achieve that? Okay. No dirt because of competitive firms take price as fixed. This is rule for setting output but not the price because they are price takers, not price makers. See, the marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost, and the marginal curve should cut the marginal revenue from below. In other words, marginal cost should have a positive slope. See, for example, if this is our graph, marginal curve should cut the marginal revenue from the below. Marginal, see, this is our marginal revenue. This is M. Okay. See, this is if this is our marginal revenue. Marginal cost should cut like from the below. It should go from here to like this. It from the below it should cut. When our marginal cost cuts the marginal revenue from the below, that condition. Another one is when the marginal revenue and marginal cost both are equal together. When these two conditions are met, you can say equilibrium of the firm is achieved. Next, we have supernormal profits. What is that? When a firm earns supernormal profits, its average revenue or more than its average total cost, more than your average total cost and more than your average revenue, whatever you're earning will be called as supernormal profits. Thus, in addition to normal rate of profit, the firm earns some additional profits. What is normal profit? Normal profits is nothing but when a firm just meets its average total output, it earns normal profits. Then you have losses. That is nothing but the situation when the firm is minimizing the losses. Okay. Then we have long run equilibrium. What is that? Long run equilibrium. A long run competitive equilibrium of a perfectly competitive industry occurs when three conditions are whole. First, all firms in the industry are equilibrium. Second, no firm has incentive either to enter or exit the industry because all firms are earning zero economic profit or normal profit. Then the price of the product is such that quantity supplied by the industry is equal to the quantity demanded by the consumers. So when these three conditions are fulfilled, you can call as long run equilibrium. In the long run, under perfect competition, the market mechanisms leads to optimal allocation of resources. The optimality is shown by following outcomes associated with the long run equilibrium. How do they achieve that? What you call optimum allocation? By these are the like few points they have mentioned. Because of these points, in the perfect competition, what you call optimum allocation of resources is achieved. First, the output is produced at minimum feasible cost. That means जितना हो सके उतना कम खर्चा कर दे. Next, the consumer pays the minimum possible price which just covers the marginal cost. That's good. Then plants are used at to full capacity in the long run, so there is no wastage of resources. And the firms only earn normal profits, but not super normal profits. And you have firms maximize the profits, but the level of profits will be just normal. And there is an optimum number of firms in the industry. There are a large number of firms in the industry. Okay. So when these conditions are met, you can call that in the long run equilibrium, optimum allocation of resources has taken. Now, coming up is monopoly. What is monopoly? You all know. Monopoly is nothing but a single seller of a product which has no close substitutes. Okay. Let's see features of the monopoly market. First, we have single seller of the product. You have single seller. What is that? There is only one firm producing or supplying the product. Next, barriers to entry. There are a strong barriers to entry, like new firms cannot enter that market. Next, you have no close substitutes. A monopolistic is a price maker and not the price taker, and you don't have substitutes. You only have one that single product. Either you use it or don't use it. And in monopolies, they are a price maker. And fourth point is nothing but market power. It has the ability to charge a price above marginal cost and earn a positive profit. Okay, how do monopolies arise? How do they arise actually? First, strategic control over scarce resources puts technology by single firm limiting the access of other firms to these resources. See, when only one firm is in the control of all the scarce resources, what will other firms do? They don't have that scarce resources, they don't have those imports, technology. So obviously, only one is in the control, only that person will rule the market, right? Next, through developing or acquiring control of a unique product, like for example, we can say Apple. Apple has developed and acquired that product, but no other, what do you call, their competitors are ever able to like same, what do you call, produce that same type of like product, same type of like Apple. They have like come like this close, but never same as Apple. Next, you have government grants exclusive right to produce or sell a good or a service. Then you have patents and copyrights. Patents and copyrights given by the government to protect intellectual property rights and to encourage innovation. Then business combinations or cartels, where former competitors cooperate on pricing or market share. Then you have extremely large setup costs even to enter the market in a modest way, and requirement of extraordinarily costly and sophisticated technical know-how discourage firms from entering the market. When you want to start a business, but after some time you got to know that the amount of cost involved in that business to set up that to if you want the technology, you want to like set up the whole business, it's way too much. Obviously, people get discouraged, and very less people will come into the market. And natural monopoly arises when there are large scale of economy and enormous goodwill enjoyed by a firm for a considerably long period creates difficult barriers to entry. When you have really good goodwill, when all people, everyone likes your brand, like the product or service, it's very difficult for other people to compete with you. And when you have stringent legal and regulatory requirements effectively discourage entry of new firms without being specifically prohibited, and whereas anti-competitive practices are used to deal with existing or potential competition. So these are the 10 points which says how monopolies arise. Then we have price discrimination. What is that? Price discrimination is nothing but method of pricing adopted by monopolists to earn abnormal profits. See, price discrimination cannot persist under perfect competition. Okay, price discrimination can never be under perfect competition. It is always under monopoly. See, because the seller has no influence of the market to determine price in perfect competition. But the price discrimination requires an element of monopoly. That's why it always exists in monopolistic market. So that the seller can influence the price of his product. And conditions for price discrimination. What are the conditions? First, they are saying that the seller should have some control over the supply of his product. Second, the seller should not be able to divide his market. He should be able to divide his market. That's smart. And the price elasticity of the product should be different. Price elasticity should be different and have should not be possible for the buyers of low price market to resell the product. So these are the conditions. If these conditions are fulfilled, then we can say price discrimination is going on. Okay, what is the objective of price discrimination? They say that to earn maximum profit, to dispose of surplus stock, to enjoy economics of scale, to capture foreign markets, and to secure equity through pricing. Equilibrium under price discrimination can be achieved that see, in order to reach the equilibrium position, discriminating monopolist has to make three decisions. First, how much total output should he produce? Second, how the total output should be distributed between the two markets. When he divides the market, how should he distribute the total output? And what prices he should charge in the two sub-markets. Next is economic effects of monopoly. What are the effects of monopoly will have? First, monopoly is often criticized. It reduces aggregate economic welfare. Second, monopolistic charge substantially higher prices to earn that like abnormal profits. Then monopolists earn economic profits in the long run, in which are unjustifiable. Next, monopolies price exceed marginal cost. Monopolies price exceed the marginal cost. And monopoly restricts consumer sovereignty and consumers' opportunities. Monopolies use unjust means for creating barriers to entry. And we have monopolists have substantial financial resources. Substantial financial resources is in a powerful position to influence the political process. Then we have very often monopolistic do not have necessary incentives to introduce different innovations, and monopolies use their monopoly power to pay lower prices, and we have economy is also likely to suffer in monopoly. So these are points which is that what bad effects it will have on the economy if monopoly is continued. Okay. Then features of monopolistic competition. First, they said that there are large number of players. Obviously, in a monopolistic competition, we are talking about large number of sellers. See, in monopolistically competitive market, there are large number of independent firms who individually have small share in the market. Product differentiation. Here, the product of different sellers are differentiated on the basis of brands. Freedom of entry and exit. You have a freedom of entry on comparatively low, and new firms are free to enter the market. If they find profit prospects, existing firms are free to quit. Next, what is non-price competition? What is that? In monopolistically competitive market, firms are often in fierce competition with other firms offering a similar product or service, and therefore they try to compete on basis other than price. So, non-price competition. Okay, we have oligopoly. What is that? Oligopoly is nothing but competing among the few. Competing among the few. What is the definition of oligopoly? They say that arise due to those factors which are responsible for the emergence of a new few monopolies. We'll see the type of oligopolies we have. We have a pure oligopoly or perfect oligopoly. That is nothing but a C, aluminum industry, for example. This type of oligopoly tends to process raw materials or produce intermediate goods that are used as input by other industries. Then open or closed monopoly is nothing but in open oligopoly, no markets can enter the market and compete with the existing firms, like open and closed. It depends. Whenever you want, you can come. Whenever you want, you can go. Open and closed oligopoly. Policy or competitive oligopoly. What is that? It is nothing but two firms of the oligopoly market come to common understanding or act in collision with each other, either in fixing price or output or both. It is just collusive. And partial or full oligopoly is nothing but oligopoly is a partial when the industry is dominated by one large firm, which is considered or looked upon as the leader of the group. Then syndicated or organized oligopoly is nothing but syndicated refers to that situation where the firm sells their products through centralized distribution. And then these are the characteristics of oligopoly market: strategic interdependence, importance and of advertising and selling costs, last is group behavior. Okay. So this was all about chapter 4 in brief. Okay. Guys, if you want to listen to my whole lecture of chapter 4 in detail, I have mentioned a link in the description. Please go check out that link, join my classes. Okay. I hope you people have understood everything. When you see this lecture, if you have any doubts, please mention in the comments. I will happily to solve all your doubts. Okay. And thank you for watching my class. Thank you. Bye bye.